So Katie Taylor also wants to do something on it.
With her. Yeah.
And, we got to figure this out. But you know what? I've got some ideas. I have a platform now that you don't know about. Okay?
It's just like you're having a conversation.
Great. Good.
And 3, 2, 1, whenever you guys are ready.
Okay?
So they won't hear me on screen, but I'll just prompt you with the
Okay.
questions. So why is diversity important?
Why is diversity important? Diversity is important because we need more innovation in our business thinking. We need more innovation in society. We really need to bring different perspectives to the decision-making process, whether it's running a company, whether it's running a government, whether it's running a hospital. Diversity of thought creates great ideas, creates innovation.
Perfect. Okay, that was so good. What kinds of diversity matters? Is this a women's issue or does it go beyond that?
I think diversity of thought comes in all shapes and forms, not limited to any particular group. But I'll tell you, women are underrepresented in leadership positions. And so that's why I want to lift their support. I want to see them take a greater leadership role in major organizations, on boards, in companies, right across the board. After all, we represent 50% of the population. Why restrict ourselves to all this potential?
So that makes sense. So diversity we know is important. What about inclusion? So once they're in the door?
I think diversity is critical. But I think the culture of an organization is really critical in terms of bringing inclusion into it. It's okay to have different people around the boardroom table, but if you're not interested in hearing the perspective, which is sometimes different than yours, if you're not interested in hearing their perspective, then I think that's not an inclusive environment. Inclusiveness allows people to provide a different perspective on issues. And I think the great decisions that are being made today are made by a diverse group of people, an inclusive environment really makes a difference in terms of innovation, different thinking, different approaches. In our fast changing world today, we need inclusion, we need diversity, because in order to gain and be competitive in this new world, that's a critical balance that we need to create.
Awesome. There's like 4 nuggets in there that we could snip out. Are we making progress fast enough?
No, we're not making progress fast enough. I am encouraged over the last couple of years, a few years, that I'm seeing progress. But it's taken too long. And the facts are there. The economics are there. Having diverse leadership in your team creates greater productivity. I see this in my boards. I see this in running my companies. In our company at Enerstor, we've got 50% equity. It does create great performance. It does create innovative thinking. It does create that environment for this new world.
Killer. So picking up, yeah, this is so good. It's almost like I wrote it and then you just memorize it. Can you tell that we've done
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, I was even thinking, I was like, we should have gotten Paige to come and do this.
That was fun.
Oh my gosh, she had a really, just off the record, she had a really awful pregnancy scare.
Did she?
And she had to leave. She's okay now, but she had to leave CNN early.
She was quite far along, isn't she? She's about 7 months now or so?
Yeah, and she had to leave about a month earlier than she anticipated.
Okay.
But she's losing it. She's so bored. It's like, I can't wait to get back.
I know.
Okay, so now I'm going to ask you, picking up on your comments about being a board member, why does diversity matter for you as a board member?
As a board member, I see that diversity of thought, diversity of perspective, diversity of gender brings a broader perspective to a board. Women have a different filter system than men. They bring different strengths to the table. They see things differently. And we're very good at conflict. We solve problems. We don't point fingers and look for blame. We solve problems. And I think men and women working together, really it does make a difference in terms of finding creative ways to solve problems, to work with people in a more inclusive environment to really drive change.
And I guess picking up on that point, so it obviously matters at the boardroom table, but what about the broader companies at the board?
That's right. I think the boardroom table is very important, and there are many, many organizations now participating in the 30% Club. Catalyst has been a big driver in terms of promoting more women on boards. But it's the C-suites that really count to me. And because they are our future board members, they are the ones that are really running these organizations. And so really important to drive that change. And we are behind in Canada. I think we're about 13% of women in C-suite positions, and that needs to change. We need to broaden that. And I think that's a really test of great succession planning, great approach to diversity and inclusion, and those leaders that really get that will be the better performers.
So last question, unless I'm missing anything, and then anything you might want to say is, what can business leaders do and public figures do to really drive change?
Yeah, I think I would love to see more men involved in this discussion, discussing it openly. Seeing and talking about the merit of diversity and inclusion in their organization, and seeing it as a real driver of the business, a real connection to the profitability and growth of your businesses. So we need them to take the torch up. Women talking to women, we do that a lot. And I think it's important to educate ourselves, but I think that, today still the power in most organizations are still lie with men. And so men have to create that change.
We need to get you a snack.
Yeah, that's
That's when she's Mike, so I
Yeah.
get your That's too funny. Okay, the other thing I will say is,
What did you just say? That what?
I said we've got to go to
Why
a snack because his
must-
stomach is grumpy.
Okay. I didn't hear it.
Okay, so one other thing, Annette, so I think
Yeah.
part of the contribution of the literature we're making with this article
Yes.
is we're looking beyond women, especially people with a disability.
Yes. Okay.
And so that's
Yeah.
really under,
Yeah,
and I
okay.
know you're passionate about that,
Yes,
so I'm
I
going to
am.
ask you to just
Okay.
elaborate on, it's not just about women, it's
Yeah.
also about what
Right.
other
Okay.
groups are.
Okay. Good. So ask me the question again. Okay.
So, when it comes to diversity, like what matters beyond, of course, gender advancement is important, but what
Yeah.
else matters for diversity?
Yes, gender advancement's important, but diversity comes in all shapes and sizes. It comes in age, it comes with different ethnic backgrounds, it comes with disability. Another group that really needs to be included is the Indigenous peoples in our country. These are all critically important because they come with a different thought process, a different filter system, and together it creates for great innovative ways to look at how we run our business, how we go forward in terms of grow our companies. That is the key, I think, to the future of great organizations, the diversity at the top, the inclusion at the top, and the distribution of different people coming to the organization. Should I have mentioned
Disability.
Did I mention
You
disability?
didn't mention disability.
I did.
I'm pretty sure she did.
I did.
in
I,
the list, yeah.
Oh, you
yeah,
did?
I did.
Okay,
I think I
perfect.
did. I think. Yeah, I think I did. But should I have mentioned LBGT?
Oh, you know what? The only reason I would say no is like the acronym is so long.
It
hard
is.
To say.
Yeah, it's,
And
just leave
it's
it.
by the time it gets
But I
published,
said,
it'll be something else,
everybody
and
with
you'll get it. Yeah.
yeah.
You said sexual
Yeah,
orientation
yeah.
earlier.
How? What's that?
You said sexual orientation.
Yeah. Okay.
I was gonna talk about like from the top, like
Yeah.
how it's top down.
Yeah.
And you touched on this perfect.
Yeah. No, I got it. I've been there.
Anything else, Annette? Any other talking points that you've seen resonate?
Should I say something about, women in STEM, in science, technology? Well,
That might get a bit detailed. I
big,
do like
yeah,
it,
it's,
but-
yeah.
One thing that
Or-
might be helpful is like, listen, I think your point is like we need to look across the pipeline.
Right.
This isn't just a.
Yeah. Let me just try this. Look, I think the opportunities for women in this new world are enormous. And I think we have to go to places that we have been a bit uncomfortable. Whether, it's engineering and computer science and the maths. And there's an underrepresentation of women in these career areas. It's getting better, but it really needs to grow. And with that background and that broader perspective, they create great leaders. And so our ability to get more women in the non-traditional businesses and career paths, I think, could really make a difference in terms of our growth.
Yeah.
Great.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You got it. That was short and sweet. You're a pro.
That's right. Take